Hello, everyone. Welcome. AJ's got a new camera testing out tonight. That's fun.
See how it
Hope
goes.
he is having a wonderful Wednesday. We got Rick. Hey, Rick, how are you doing? Matt Ryan is here. Howdy, Matt. How's it going? Peter, hope you are doing well. Talked to Peter this week on the phone. Hope you're doing well. Felicia, hello. Welcome to the live stream. Bruce is here. Hi, Bruce. How are you? Fred and Lisa, hello. How you guys doing this evening? Two old farts. How's it going, everybody? How are you guys doing? The Murphys are here. Hello, Murphys. Hope you're having a great week so far. Hi, Patty. Hope you're doing great. Patty's got a cruise coming up pretty soon. Deb, how are you? Hope everything is doing well on your end. Robin, hi. Hope you are doing well. Robin, I have to make sure I got your address to send you coffee. I don't know that I got your address from last week because you won the coffee. Brightline Railroad Rail fan, how are you? Hi, Leslie. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. 1 week closer to having a Norwegian cruise out of Philadelphia. We are getting there. Hi, Ash. How are you? Alex, how's it going? Hope you're having a great day. Howdy again, Bruce. Hi, Mike. How you doing? Dom, how's it going? Good to see you. Eric, how are you, my friend? Jay Myers, howdy, howdy. Hope is here. Hi, Hope. How are you? Al is here. You're quite welcome, Al. Thank you very much for coming. Birthday boy Tony Diaz is here. Happy birthday, Tony. Hope you are having a wonderful birthday today. Hope you're having a great day. Carrie Ann is here. Hi, Carrie Ann. How are you today? Edward Clayton here. Howdy, Edward. How's it going? We got Alex was going to say I'm hearing double, but then I had two tabs. You can watch it on as many tabs as you want. More views is better. We'll take them. Ryan said, hey, you two, almost our turn to go on Joy. Ryan, I hope you have a great time on Joy. I hope there are less children there. So very, very much hope that is a good situation for you. I had a great time. Thought Joy was awesome. Robin said, I emailed you my address. I don't see. I'll check. Robin, don't sweat. I'll check, and if not, I will let you know. Brightline said, can you do a Brightline video from West Palm? Sure. We'll have to go down there and check it out, but I am happy to do that. Absolutely. Again, it's Tony Diaz's birthday. Everybody wish Tony Diaz a happy, happy birthday today. Hope you have a wonderful day. Jimmy and Laurie are here getting closer to their cruise on the MSC Meraviglia. That is super exciting. Eric said, don't forget to thumbs up, everyone. Thank you very much, Eric. Dom said, found out the other day that MSC is no longer offering Wi-Fi with their drink package. Depends on the package. Some sailings, they're still offering drinks and Wi-Fi. Other ones, they are just offering drinks. But we can find packages to include both of them. So we can definitely get that done to make sure you get both of those things included at a lower cost. I can figure that out on my end. We have a lot of flexibility right now with MSC. We booked a lot of cruises this year so far with MSC, so it's been really, really, really good. Mike said, I need a ship at my house today. I think I saw animals lining up in twos. I certainly hope not. Same thing here, though. I had a wild experience today. I ran out around lunchtime today, and I was driving down one of the back roads by my house. And on the left side of the road, the traffic that was coming towards me said road closed. And then on my side, there was a car. There was a lot of water. It was definitely flooded. So the water was up at my tires. There was a car in the ditch alongside the road, and the water was above their windows. So they must have been driving there last night or something, and it must have been like very flooded, and they didn't see where the road was, where the road ended, and they must have gone off road and lost their car there. It was like a pretty new Subaru. So Crazy, crazy, crazy. Lots of happy birthday wishes for Tony Diaz. Cheryl is here. Hi, Cheryl. How are you? Hope you're having a great day. Laura is here. Hi, Laura. Hope you are having a wonderful day as well. Brightline said, I'm going to Brightline on Orlando in 2025. I'm going to Disney World. That's awesome. That is fantastic. So we had some big news this week. So we found out that Allure of the Seas is getting upgraded, $100 million upgrade. The last of the Oasis. So Allure was the second Oasis class ship and was supposed to get amplified. And then the pandemic came along. All the amplifications were stopped. And then they just got screwed out of it. It didn't happen. So now it's happening. They're amplifying the solarium. So they're adding a restaurant in the solarium. They're adding the Ultimate Abyss, which is the only Oasis class ship that doesn't have the Ultimate Abyss. They're adding a bunch of really fun stuff. So I'm really excited. They're adding the Pesky Parrot. So I think that's going to happen on all the ships, to be honest. I think we talked about it when we were on Symphony last week. It didn't seem like, I feel like the Bionic Bar has kind of had its day, and it's not, that awesome anymore. And I think it's like a one-shot deal where if you do it one time, I mean, you've seen it, it's done, it's kind of had its day. So I don't think anyone's going to miss the Bionic Bar if they change that. So I think that will come for the rest of those ships as soon as they go in to do any kind of refurb. Like we did the Bionic Bar, it was fun, but it's like,
I showed when we took Caleb and Kelly, I showed them that too. But even like getting mocktails at the Bionic Bar, they still mess up. Like those robots are not the most reliable bartenders.
Yeah, it's not perfect. Certainly isn't perfect, but it is what it is. John Than is here. Hey, John, how are you? Hope you're having a lovely day out there in Madison, Wisconsin. Charlie's here. Hi, Charlie. How are you? Lots of love for Tony Diaz. I love it. That's wonderful. Jay Meyer said, I think I heard the NCL Jade was going to dry dock. I haven't heard that yet, but it's really funny you said that because when we were on last week and we were talking, Hope just got off the Jade and she said she did not have a great time and that it was feeling very old and didn't look great. So hopefully, I haven't heard that yet, but I'll check that out ASAP. Hello, Sana. Eric was like, Manamana.
Yep. I like to change it every once in a while and see if anyone noticed.
Yeah, just keeping everybody honest, Yeah. Alex said, looking forward to this week's cruise live chat of the seas. Yep. And then we saw the Royal is raising the price on the drink package, something like $115 a day. I don't know who's going to pay for that. The drink package. So the deal with Royal Caribbean and the drink package is that it's flexible pricing and it's very Disney-ish pricing. So pricing changes per sailing, per ship based on supply and demand. So if a lot of people are buying the drink package does go up. If the drink package is not in great demand and a lot of people aren't buying the drink package, they're not going to raise the price on it. So it's going to depend on what ship, what sailing you're on. I'm going to look right now on my Odyssey cruise in December. It's still $69 a day there. And then as you go further out, it might change as you go further out. If I look on my Wonder cruise, it is $81 a day on my Wonder of the Seas cruise in February. So that's a shot up. And then if I look on my Icon, not that I care, I don't need the drink package, but
you're fancy.
Fancy. I mean, I don't need it either way. My Icon cruise, it's 82. So it looks like it's peaking around 80. It does say that it's on sale from 110 a day. So I don't know that it'll ever actually be 110 a day. So there's always some kind of a sale going on that, So So they say. There's always, it's always some kind of sale thing, but who knows? We shall see. Jay Meyer said, I didn't like the NCL Sun, but it sails to great locations in 2025. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the thing with those older ships. They might not be the best ships, but some of those older ships have really good itineraries. Even the older Royal ships or the older Carnival ships, they go to cool places because they're smaller ships. And it's easier for them to get into those small places. So, Wanda Brown. Hello, Wanda. How are you today? Tara is here. Hi, Tara. How's everything going? Tara, I talked to Royal today. Your refund has been processed. So that means it's 5 or so days until you actually see that money back. So we'll see how that goes. I'm looking on my last one. Yeah, it's $80 a day on Liberty, down from 105. So who knows? I'm sure it's going to happen. Of course, if anybody has any questions, let us know. Waiting for Matt to join us from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. As soon as he is here, I will pop him in and we will get going. Other than that, we had the other big news. I'm trying to think. I have a video coming out tomorrow on Allure, which was pretty big news. There wasn't too much other crazy cruise news this week going on that I can remember. The Murphys just said 2 guys who stole $100,000 of jewelry from the Effie store on Virtuoso got suspended 17-month sentences and 250 hours. Yeah, that's amazing. It's insane that they stole all that money from the Effie store on the ship. It's amazing that people buy that jewelry on the cruises. That's more. The more shocking thing to me is people actually buy those things. It's kind of like the artwork. If you told me there was a $10 million art heist on the cruise ship, I would be amazed that anyone took that art. More so than anything else.
It was worth $10 million.
Yeah. It's prints that they're printing for $30 and that they're charging people hundreds of dollars for. It's amazing. Laura said, my November cruise on Mariner sees beverage package 64. There you go. That's not bad at all. 64 is pretty standard for that, for, Royal-ish. It used to drop to like 50 something, but for the most part, I see it at like 77 to 79, something like that. Oh, there's Matt. Let's pop on Matt. Everybody, we are going to welcome Matt from Royal Caribbean Blog. Hello, Matt. How are you?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good. Thanks for joining us.
Nice shirt, by the way.
Yeah, thanks. I had my YOLO Book It mug, too.
Wow. This is the check's in the mail.
I know, right? Thanks. So thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. On Tony Diaz's birthday, of all days,
I mean, it's not often people get exactly what they want for their birthday, but here I am.
Amazing. So I just wanted to start things off and do a little bit of a background so everybody kind of gets an idea. Not that everybody doesn't know who you are, but let's give everybody a quick rundown. Matt runs RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Matt, how long ago did you actually get started on that particular endeavor?
It started in 2010, but it wasn't like I started in 2010 doing what I do today with it. It was very much a shot in the dark. I just wanted to start a blog. I didn't really have any visions of what it was going to be. It just kind of evolved over time. But yeah, it started in 2010.
That's awesome. And before that, you were doing a lot of Disney, correct?
Yeah, no, I'm a recovering Disney fan.
That's awesome. So I was doing a little bit of like going through. I was trying to find a picture for the thumbnail when I was doing it today, a few days ago, whenever I sent that over to you. And I found like a couple funny things. So AJ will get a kick out of this. So Matt, we have a marketing company as well. We do website design. So have you ever had the opportunity, no one else is going to care about this, but have you ever had the opportunity to click the delete all content button in Drupal? Have you ever done that?
I don't think I've ever hit that button, thankfully.
That's amazing. So AJ, I didn't tell you ahead of time. So Matt was a Drupal developer. So
I'm sorry.
Oh, I love Drupal. But cruising was way better. Like I enjoyed programming. I love doing that stuff, but writing about cruises was like, that was just far more enjoyable. But all my websites still run on Drupal, and I enjoy it. So it is definitely an acquired taste.
It's not the programming I ever have a problem with.
The community refactoring everything like every half of version. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. They made some questionable decisions. Not that anyone really cares about the lifespan and life cycle of Drupal, but I figure this is my only opportunity to ever talk about it on any kind of cruising podcast. So I will say that it has been
Anytime you want to do any sort of developer talk, I'm open because no one ever knows what I'm talking about. So
yeah, now it's just
start the Drupal podcast.
There you go.
So yeah, Matt. So that's really interesting. We also had an interesting cross section in that we both worked at the same company previously, but I worked there way before you. I worked at BAE Systems, so I saw that you worked there as well.
Well, that's true, but BAE is so big that we might as well have worked at McDonald's together. I mean, it's a giant company, but yeah,
totally
interesting.
Yeah. I was a subcontractor for them. So
yep.
So let's get back into our stuff here. So we got anybody, if you have Royal Caribbean questions, fire away on the Royal Caribbean questions. We were just talking about the drink package. Matt, somebody mentioned that it looks like the price is going up to somewhere around $115 as being the standard. I don't know if you heard about that or saw that.
Yeah, I mean, basically what's happening, Royal Caribbean always has the onboard price, and then there's the pre-cruise price. The onboard price is always much significantly higher than the online price. The issue is that Royal Caribbean recently made a change where, at least we've seen this, and this has been the case at least on a few ships, where they're no longer offering the BOGO offer on board. So when you actually get on board the ship, it really is 100, 115, whatever it is. I mean, the price is always variable from sailing to sailing, ship to ship. But the difference is previously there'd be that price, but there'd be a BOGO deal. So effectively, you can do the math on buy one at full price, one at half price, and then you get the reduced price there. The difference now is you're paying that higher price, which of course, anybody who can hear our voices should know they should not be buying the drink package on board the ship and to buy it beforehand. So there's no reason to ever pay that price if you're within earshot of this podcast.
Agreed. Very much agreed. Please buy the drink package ahead of time. And do all your upgrades. Do everything you're going to do before you get on the cruise ship. Do not wait.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're saving money. That's all it is. I mean, the more you'll save money and you'll plan ahead, you'll have a better sense of where things are. I think, knowledge is power. And the more you research, the more you know about what the everything is like and what you're looking for. I think it's just going to benefit you in the long run.
I agree totally. I've seen too lately that, and I know you've mentioned this a bunch, I've seen now, previously before the pandemic, I used to be able to wait like till a few weeks before the cruise to plan some excursions, and even like wait a year on the ship and be like, oh, I'm just going to do that. And you really can't do that anymore. Things are definitely selling out. So
yeah, especially if you're going, it's one thing if you're going to like Nassau, it's quite another when you want to go to more popular things. And this is really true of like a lot of, whether you're talking about Europe or Canada or Alaska. I mean, these things go quickly. To Royal Caribbean's credit, they've done a good job at, I don't think so much they're educating consumers as they are just giving consumers easier access to these items. Their website is better. The Royal Caribbean app is better. So it's a heck of a lot easier than it used to be to find the stuff. And the end result or the side result, however you want to look at it, is that a lot more people are booking these things before the cruise. So yeah, you got to be on the ball with it.
Yeah, I agree. So we got Tara said, hi, Matt. We got Alex said, hi, Matt.
Hello.
Bruce, Edward, Brightline, Al. Two
wow,
old parts. Yeah, funny. I haven't seen Tony Diaz hasn't said hello, but like.
Oh, well, yeah.
Cheryl asked, Matt, does Royal Caribbean do a toga party?
They do on Utopia of the Seas. I participated in it, and it's a lot more difficult than you might think to put a toga on. You realize it requires a Google search and two people to help you tuck it. It's a lot of tucking, but I did it. It was fun. I would definitely advise you, though, if you're going to do the toga party, which is right now only in Utopia, I would advise you to buy a cheap Halloween costume. It's so much easier.
That makes a ton of sense. That's great advice.
I recently helped a friend put on a toga, and it was a lot.
Yeah, if you're actually doing like a bed sheet, they make it look easy in Animal House. It is not easy. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you got to keep things covered. You got to be careful.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cheryl said, Matt, Royal Caribbean doesn't have an issue with your opinion on the key or anything like that you say needs improvement, do they?
Does Royal Caribbean have a problem with my opinions. I'm sure they don't love my opinion on the key, but they've never voiced their displeasure with it. I think it's important to be real, and I don't love everything, and to explain also why I don't like it. But if you get the key, more power to you. I hope you enjoy it. I just personally, every time I get it, I just scratch my head personally.
Yeah, I saw your video. So if anybody wants to check out the Royal Caribbean blog YouTube channel, this week Matt did a video on 4 things that he would do to improve the key. So you could check that out. It's a great video of things that you could add a little value add to the key that would actually make it make sense. So
sweet.
I appreciate that. I agree with you. The one thing that I like about the key is I only bring carry-on luggage. So when we go, we generally do carry-on only. So for me, it's nice to because we're carrying, I have a backpack with my laptop and anything else that I'm carrying, and then just my carry-on for luggage. So it's nice to get on the ship, drop that off at the dining room, and sit down and just eat a nice lunch. But it's certainly not worth $36 a day to do that.
Yeah, it's so front loaded. You have to buy it pretty much for everyone who's above the age of 6. It's just and a lot of that benefit actually is probably the one I can't have any argument. Being able to carry on luggage is really nice and be able to drop it off. The thing is, it's 2.5 hours maximum of a benefit. And the other thing about it is that a lot of the other benefits just simply sound better than they really are. But I don't want to go into a whole key tangent here. I just want to say that the carry-on bag drop-off benefit is definitely a nice benefit.
I totally agree. All right. So Ryan has a question here. We like the NCL Breakaway Plus class ships, but are considering Royal. Any recommendations for newbies who do not want something as large as Icon?
Good question. I mean, the Oasis class is a little bit smaller, but that's still a big ship. I think what you're probably looking at would be the Quantum class. That's it's a step down size-wise, not in experience. And it's still a newer ship. Like Odyssey of the Seas, I would think would be up your alley if that's kind of where you're going with this. I think Odyssey especially would be a great choice for you. Certainly Freedom of the Seas is also a great choice. It's a little bit an older ship compared to Odyssey, but they recently got upgrades in 2020, and it's actually some nice upgrades. So I would say if I were you and you don't want Icon, then I'm going to assume Oasis is also too big for you. Then Odyssey would be a really nice option for a first Royal Caribbean cruise.
I agree. Ryan, where are you at geographically? Because Odyssey is up here now. So Odyssey's up in New Jersey towards the end of this year, out of Bayonne as well. Obviously, we're on Symphony in the next 2 months, but Odyssey, we're on Odyssey in December. So if you're up this direction, then that's a really good choice for you. All right. Rick said, hey, Matt, if you have a guaranteed room, generally, when does Royal Caribbean assign that cabin?
Anytime between now and the day you board your cruise ship. There is not an exact time. I've done guarantees a number of times. Sometimes it comes within a week or two. Sometimes it literally takes to a couple days before the cruise. There's not a whole lot you can know ahead of time as to how long it'll take. There is a little bit of a trick that you can do if you have a guarantee. If you get to the point where you can start checking in for your cruise, but your cabin is not assigned yet, what you can do is if you have the Royal Caribbean app on your phone and you do the online check-in and get a set sail pass, there's a barcode at the bottom there, and it actually, you can read the last 4 digits is the room that you've been assigned, even though you haven't been assigned it yet officially. And it's a little trick that you can get to be able to probably figure out which room you are. It could change, but 9 out of 10 times it doesn't change. So, but the bottom line is it'll be assigned at some point, but there is no exact timeline or pattern to it.
Great. Alex said, I've never voyaged on Royal Caribbean. Why should I try Royal Caribbean next?
Great question. First of all, I think they have the best entertainment across any cruise line. That's number one. Number two, I think their cruise ships really do set the standard for the rest of the industry, especially the mass market cruise lines. Royal Caribbean has been a market leader in a lot of ways, and I think they really do balance the entertainment, the experience, the places they go, the ships they build. They really have, I think, figured out more so maybe than other lines that real keying in on how to really make build a cruise ship that appeals to all ages. Generally speaking, it's in an affordable place as opposed to a premium line or a luxury line, something like that. family friendly as well. So you can certainly bring your kids, you can bring your parents, you can bring your grandparents. It's really big on that kind of thing. And so I think it's something for everyone is basically the appeal of Royal Caribbean.
I totally agree. And Alex, I know Alex, you've been on Virgin. Have you been on Norwegian? I think you've been on Norwegian as well. So yeah, I mean, there are levels, right? There are levels to the different things. And if you would have asked me 5 years ago, I would have said, yeah, Norwegian does these great Broadway shows as well, but now they are mostly gone. So Footloose is gone, Six is gone. There are only a few left. Now, Choir Man is a fantastic show, but it's only on a few ships. So yeah, I mean, there's literally no comparison. When we did the ship tour on Friday of Symphony. We were walking around and there was a couple of new travel agents who have never been on a cruise or been on Royal before. And just one of the things I love is whenever we take new people on a ship like Symphony or Oasis and you're walking around and people are just like, I can't believe like we're going from the theater to the Aqua Theater to the ice skating rink to Central Park, and it's unreal. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, I think the mega ships, especially the newer ships, the Oasis class and the Icon class, really exemplify that more. If you were to do a smaller Royal Caribbean cruise ship, an older one, I'm not sure you would quite see the difference. I mean, maybe you still would. There are things Royal does, just generally speaking, across the board very well. But I agree, John. Some of their newest ships really exemplify the overwhelming, in a good way, amount of things you could do on a cruise ship.
Yep, agreed. Someone named Tony Diaz said, pretending not to know this Matt guy.
I never heard of that guy.
Me neither. Cheryl said, Carnival has a white night. NCL has an orange night. What does Royal Caribbean have?
They do a white night. They do a Caribbean night. They do formal night. And then they have themed nights. So they'll be like 70s night or 80s night. Again, these nights, if you're listening to this and you're like, I don't want to dress up like the 80s, don't worry. You really don't have to. Very few people do. But if you'd like to, that is an option. It's a very loose theme to the evening festivities on the Royal Promenade.
Agreed. It's definitely fun. Go check it out. You can just go and hang out in the background. You don't have to mix right in the middle there. Mm-hmm. Ryan said he's in Michigan. Yeah, Ryan, check out. I would recommend Odyssey. It's close. You can pop over here to Jersey and check it out. Bruce said, I'm trying Royal Caribbean Odyssey of the Seas, 12-day cruise for my first ever Royal cruise, getting the refreshment package because the deluxe package for two was on sale was $1,200, which is insane. Yeah, I mean,
it's a lot of money. I mean, you have to remember what you're getting for it. And it's also a 12-night cruise, and you're buying it for two people in that situation. It's not cheap, but when you factor in how much you could possibly get, for some people, that actually is a value. Obviously, Bruce, not in your case, and there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. But it also, I think, boils down to how much you're going to drink on board. There are some people that really do enjoy having a number of cocktails and beers and not having to worry about the bill, or being able to try drinks on board the ship without fear of like, well, if I buy it and I hate it, now I'm stuck with it, and Tony won't give me any of his diamond drinks to use. So it's like, it's tough to make that work. So really, there is the convenience and the budgetability, that's not a word, of the drink package, I think, is really the appeal of it. But yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, it's not an inexpensive purchase either.
Yeah, it's expensive, and you have to really, I mean, it's pretty easy to go through and just think about, okay, if I do, and you'd be surprised when you're on vacation, those drinks add up pretty quickly. If you have a mimosa for breakfast, you might have something for while you're on the pool deck. All of a sudden, by the time you get to dinner, you're at 5 drinks, and that's really nothing, and that's $60 right there. So if you're looking at it, there is some niceness in not having to worry about that.
Absolutely.
All right. Cheryl asked, do you know how many ships Royal Caribbean will have in Australia in 2026?
I don't. If I'm not mistaken, you guys have your winter is our summer and our summer is your winter. There's usually a couple ships. Royal usually has the Quantum class ships down there. They've been changing it up a little bit in terms of Voyager and Quantum versus now it's just Quantum class ships. I'd have to double check the deployment schedule. I apologize. And also, Royals only put out their deployments through early 2026, which is our winter. So that would still be Australia cruise season, but I believe that may still be forthcoming. So long story short, I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but usually 2 is a bare minimum. If you're lucky, you'll get about 3.
Yep. Bruce said he was wrong. It's $2,200. It was on sale today for $1,800 for 2. Yeah, the 12 days is the differentiator there because that's a long cruise. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yep.
So Dom asked, "Hi Matt, will Royal Caribbean eventually offer a status match for other cruise lines?"
So I saw their message further down. They specify
Yeah.
MSC. I don't think so. The reason why MSC offers status match is because MSC is trying to compete in the market. Their market share is extremely low, especially in North America. And so why they're offering that? Why is Virgin offering that? Because they're trying to they're trying to build up their market share. Royal Caribbean doesn't have that problem. And so from a competitive standpoint, there's no need for them to do that. They're certainly working on expanding their status matching within their own company. Recently, they just upgraded their status matching between Celebrity and Silver Sea, and there's talk of even furthering that status matching. But for other lines, I really don't see it. Again, in my opinion, the reason why other lines do it is purely to gain market share, to convince existing cruisers to try their line and hopefully get them in there. And that's not what, number one, Royal doesn't really think that way. Number two, Royal has always been looking at the new cruiser market as their number one way to source cruisers, not existing cruisers. So for all those reasons, that's why I don't think they'll do that.
Yeah, I agree. The other thing too with the MSC status match, I think when you look at the status programs from the different cruise lines, and we did a video on this year where we compared and contrasted all of them. Norwegian and Royal are the two leaders in actually having the best benefits for what you get. Obviously, Royal, you're getting the drinks as you hit Diamond and higher, and you're getting access to the Crown Lounge. With Norwegian, you're getting the dining, extra dinings, and different things like that as you hit Platinum and Sapphire. MSC doesn't. I mean, I'm at the top tier of MSC, right? So there is nothing there other than you get like one free specialty dining. But other than that, there's nothing. I get chocolate at the end of the night. That's it. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
that's something that
top.
absolutely. And that actually, John, you reminded me of something else. Let's go back to a question someone asked earlier about why they should try Royal Caribbean. One other differentiating factor, and it's not going to help you on the first cruise, obviously, but I believe Royal Caribbean's benefits, especially in the upper tiers, is significantly better than any other line out there. I mean, heck, the 4 free drinks a day you get every day of the cruise for being a Diamond member is incredible compared to any other line out there. So it's not going to help you in the first, on your first couple cruises. But if you were to cruise more with Royal, there are some undeniably lucrative benefits at those top tiers of Crown Anchor. And you, Johnny, just pointed out a great example of why other lines' benefits are not nearly as good.
Yeah, totally. All right, the Murphys here said, "We are Yacht Club Haven cruisers. What does Royal Caribbean Suite Class offer that would entice us to give them a try?"
It's definitely Star Class, Tom and Sharon. So Star Class is Royal Caribbean's closest thing they offer to it. Admittedly, Royal Caribbean does not do the ship within a ship concept like the Yacht Club or the Haven. So it's not going to be like that. But Star Class pretty much is as close as you're going to get to all-inclusive. You have a Royal Genie, who is not quite a butler, and you share them with like 2 or 3 other cabins. But it's pretty close to it. Everything's included. Your food, your drinks. When you go to shows, you've reserved seating. You don't have to plan anything ahead of time. They do everything for you, which is amazing. And that's probably what you would want to go to, not to mention the fact that they have the giant suites that come with them. So I would imagine Star Class cabins are what you're going to look for. Those will be on the Oasis, Quantum, and Icon class ships.
Yeah, it's an amazing. If anybody would like to do a ship tour, let me know because we could do ship tours. We can sign some people up to do some ship tours. But the really fun thing is on Friday when we were wandering around the ship, the first thing we did was we got on the ship at like 10. So we rushed up to all the suites before the fancy people get on board. And the one really cool thing is you get to meet the genies and just to see their level of like care and concern that goes into that position and what they do. It's really, really amazing. It's an amazing experience. It really is. All right. Bruce said, "I'm 66, maybe 6 drinks a day, in bed by 10. That's still, I mean, it's funny, right? But that's still like $70 a day if you're getting cocktails. So,
yeah. And don't forget coffee, bottled water. That adds up too. If you really are drinking 6 drinks a day, that seems low. You would actually easily break even on the drink package in the deluxe drink package.
Yep, totally agree. Again, unless you're Diamond or Diamond Plus, where you're getting some of those drinks for free. Or, right, so one of the things I know Matt's talked about a lot recently is if you gamble a little bit, just a little bit, and you go on a few cruises, you hit the casino. If you can get to Prime, then you can talk about the difference between getting the drink package and not. So now I'm going to be Diamond Plus, and I have Prime in the casino. So you get your 5 drinks a day, and then you can just pop into the casino whenever it's open, and you can drink for free in there. So then you're packaging some things together there. So Eric said, I never see a better deal on drink packages than Norwegian free at sea. My next cruise is 23 days back to back. The drink package was $3,800. I paid less than $1,000. Yeah, I mean the Norwegian chucking the drinks in there and some type of specialty dining with the, I feel like it's 10 minutes of internet access. I don't know why it's even in there anymore, but yeah, it's a great deal if you look at it in the perspective of adding that onto your cruise fare. But it does come at a price. It's not like it's free. You're paying the gratuities, and you're paying more than you would if you just booked the cruise fare. But yeah, it's a good deal for sure. So Wanda said, question, why can't Royal Caribbean offer a drink package as part of the cruise fare?
Royal Caribbean actually talked about this recently. They the reason why is because there's while there are some people, including myself, that would want it, essentially most of their customers prefer the modularity of not having it. They don't want it included because they're not going to drink enough for it. And so from I guess you call it an affordability standpoint, people don't want it. I hate to tell Eric, but you're paying for the drink package, whether you think you're paying for it or not. It's included. You're just paying for it. And by including the drink package, you'd be paying for it with Royal Caribbean as well. And basically their customers have told them they don't want that. They want to have the choice of getting the drink package. And Wanda, I'm with you. I'd love to have it more. I'd love to have the gratuities included. I think that's silly that it's not. I would love, sure, a drink package would be great too. It's just once you include things, first of all, you're paying for them. And the other thing, actually, while I think gratuities make a lot of sense to be included, I did Celebrity for the first time, and I was really surprised by the included drinks, in the sense that basically when you include the drinks, you just raise the bar for the threshold for what it includes, and all of a sudden beers go to like $14 so that they're not included in the drink package. Like, it's crazy the way that they kind of re-engineer the math. It's like inflation for cruises. Like, it just arbitrarily, I don't know what the economic term is there, but anyway, the point is that that's essentially why they don't do that, because most of their customers, not all, but most, prefer it not to be included.
Yeah, totally. Bruce said, I'm platinum with Carnival, so I get laundry done free. 12-day cruise on Royal Caribbean. They do not have laundromats on board. I wonder why.
I really think that's a great question. I mean, very few lines do offer. There is laundry services on Royal Caribbean that does cost extra. Like, I know Disney offers laundry that you can do on board the ship. I think there's probably a couple of reasons for that. Number one, it takes up space, and that could be space that you could use for something else, like another cabin. Number two, I think that there's not a lot of people who do laundry. 12-night cruises are not the norm for Royal Caribbean. They do exist, but mostly you're talking about 7-nighters and shorter. So I don't think there's that much of a need per se. Listen, I would love to have that ability. There's also a fire hazard that comes with doing your own laundry. Granted, other lines do it, so clearly that can be done. I'm not trying to pretend that it's a real risk, but it's something that exists. So I think for all those reasons, and maybe something else, is the reason why Royal doesn't offer that. So
yeah, I agree. It is. Yeah, no, all the cruise lines, you can get some type of laundry service if you need it. So it is available for you. Mm-hmm. Tara has a 2-part question, which I knew we were going to get tonight, especially with news that came out this week. So when do you think Royal will announce the Discovery class, and do you think it will be able to sail from small ports like Baltimore and Tampa?
Good question. The Royal Caribbean CEO, Michael Bailey, said earlier this year that there's a good chance it'll be announced before the end of the year. Granted, when Royal Caribbean says something, I believe that is definitely the case at the moment they say it, but 15 minutes later, that answer could have changed. They just don't give us updates on that. I do think, though, the fact that also Michael Bailey talked about it again this week or last week, he mentioned that they're expecting these new ships about 3 to 4 years. Almost certainly we're looking at probably by the end of the year, early next year, they would make that announcement. Maybe my guess, based on what he said, that seems like that timeline would fit in there to some extent. The real question is, we will be able to sail from ports like Baltimore and Tampa. That the jury's still out on. Royal is they have really so little details on this, it would not make your head spin. It's basically that it's going to be smaller than the Icon and Oasis class. Now, I think some people have read too much into that, thinking, it's supposed to replace the Vision class and the possibly the Radiance class. So people are reading, it's going to be like that size of a ship. I don't really think so. I could be wrong, But my take on it is that it is relatively speaking smaller, not necessarily a smaller ship. So will it fill it out of ports from Baltimore to Tampa? I have no idea. My guess would be no, but we really don't know. I think it's going to be closer to like a Edge class ship within Celebrity. And I don't think those can fit under the bridges in Baltimore and Tampa. So that's my guess. But to be perfectly honest, Tara, I don't know. Again, we know so little information about this. So I could be dead wrong on all this, and you can tell me you told me so, or if I don't know if you're actually telling me that or not, but I can say I was wrong when we talk about this in a year or two, whenever the heck we have details about it.
I think it's one of the great things about Royal is they do a really good job of keeping a lid on things until it's ready to go. They do a good job of marketing. So Alex said, besides the coffee shop, where can I get a cup of Joe?
Good question. Well, it also depends. Do you want a free cup of coffee or do you want a specialty coffee, right? You can get coffee at any restaurant. They all have the ability to serve you coffee there. So certainly the main dining room, the buffet. Now, some places do have a coffee machine. As an example, the Windjammer Buffet has a coffee machine over there. Like on Icon of the Seas, there's actually a coffee bar, like as in like it's supposed to be alcoholic coffees, but they also have regular coffee there as well. Some ships, the Solarium, which is the adults only bar, they'll have coffee machines there. There was one I just recently wrote about, Utopia of the Seas. Oh, Giovanni's, which is their Italian restaurant. They have a wine bar and they have an espresso machine. They can make coffee there too. And some of those cost extra. Free coffee, Windjammer, the buffet, main dining room, any specialty restaurant, any restaurant really, I should say any restaurant, any specialty restaurant, and of course, Cafe Promenade or Cafe Latitudes. That's the primary place people get free coffee on board the ship.
Awesome. Ryan Q said, Matt in the house, Diamond Plus and drink too much on vacation to use my free drink perk because I end up purchasing the drink package anyway. There you go.
Okay.
Loves NCL free at sea. Charlie said, NCL non-drinkers subsidize the drinkers. It's definitely a better deal for drinkers because drinkers get more value. That is fair. Yep.
Good point.
Tim, sorry, late again. No problem, Tim. You're fine. Roger said, sorry, I'm late. I'm at a fair with our coffee trailer. Look at that. Roger doing a little tie-in. So let's real quick. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Mainly Coffee. So if you go to mainlycoffee.com, you get 10% off of your order if you use code Byte Cruises, all one word, or you can scan the little QR code there. We changed the picture here. We got a little Blueberry Ledges blend. Everybody go check out Mainly Coffee, our awesome sponsor. So next up, Ryan said, I have a casino comp debating between Odyssey this year from New Jersey or Vision from Baltimore Q1. I was on Vision for 9 days last November, so I know what to expect from a tiny plane ship. How is Odyssey?
The opposite in so many ways. You'll love it way more. Vision is a tiny ship. Odyssey is a relatively new ship. Came out in 2021 or 2 now. It has a giant casino, which you'll love since you got a comp. I'm assuming that matters to you. Way more entertainment, way more things to do on board. Pretty much Vision is on one end of the Royal Caribbean spectrum, and Odyssey's on the other end of the Royal Caribbean spectrum in terms of not just size, not everything, but how many things there are on board, amenities on board, newness. The showers don't stick to you, like little things like that. It's that all matters for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah, we're excited. We're going on Odyssey in December 1st. Nice. I was on Anthem twice in the past couple of years, and I'm excited to get playmakers in the
Odyssey will ruin the quantum class for you. It's great, but it is going to like I'm going on Anthem in a couple of weeks, and it's like, I mean, yeah, but it's not Odyssey.
Yeah, the Anthem, I liked Anthem. It's got Jamie's. Yeah. The iteration of Jamie's on that ship was awesome for whatever reason. I loved it, and there are like a few little bottlenecks on Anthem that you don't see on the Oasis class. With Oasis, there's so many things where nobody's ever in the same spot. There were a couple bottlenecks because it's not the Promenade, but that area down there, the Esplanade, gets a little more crowded than the Promenade does because it's smaller. But yeah, we can't wait to go on Odyssey. Very excited. Dom said, does Royal Caribbean still offer more than one entree in the main dining room for free?
Yes.
Yeah, I think all the cruise lines do. I keep hearing, people keep telling me that they've been told no on like entrees and stuff. I use the example of last week when I was on Norwegian, or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was. They go out of their way, and I find this all the time in every cruise ship, whether you're on specialty dining or in the main dining room. Every one of my servers has gone out of their way to say, I'll just bring something else out, right? Because we're always like, hey, what's your favorite dish? Or Meg always asks, like, hey, would you try this or this? And they're always like, well, just bring both. And we're like, no, don't bring both. So
Meg
I
can't
think
eat
they
it.
all do.
Meg can't eat
Yeah.
one entree.
No, exactly. So it's great. All right, let's see. Murphy said, I read the other day the Royal Caribbean purchased the rights to build a new terminal in Homer, Alaska. Are they planning ahead due to many Alaska ports limiting passengers, maybe looking at new Alaska routes?
Anything's possible. Yeah, they announced a new, I believe it was in Seward. They announced the purchase. It's interesting because officially, I don't think Royal Caribbean has actually released anything, but we know this from public records that it's Royal Caribbean who's backing the project, so they'll have rights on it. And moreover, to your question, the concept art clearly has a Quantum class ship there, which is not the case now. Right now, it's just the Radiance class ship. So what the impetus is, I mean, whether or not it's to offer more different itineraries or because of some of the limitations. But the Juno is limiting cruise ships in the sense that the level they're at now is basically where they don't want to go beyond, which is still a lot. It's not like it's not a Venice situation where they're like, we don't want cruise ships. Juno wants cruise ships. They just don't want it to get out of hand, and that's why they're limiting it to where they are now. So I think that's an important distinction. But I think for Royal, they're looking at it as an opportunity to grow their business. And how do you grow your business beyond simply Vancouver and Seattle? This, I guess, is what they're looking at. But again, they haven't said exactly what their intentions are or what we can expect from it. But I think your read on it is probably accurate.
Great. Bruce said, must-dos or tries on Odyssey.
I mean, there's a lot of great, first of all, Playmakers. John is not wrong. That is a great place to go hang out. I love Playmakers. I think it's a great spot. It might be my favorite Playmakers in the fleet. The other thing that really is, all the shows in 270 are really cool. 270 is the theater on the back of the ship. And they do production shows, but they also do lots of other things in there. And they really do vary. And I think it's a great spot. If you ever are like, what should I do next? I think going to 270 would be a great choice because there's just always something going on in there. It's a really neat spot. And when there's not something going on there, it's a beautiful vista. I mean, it's right on the back of the ship. There's Cafe 270, so you get your cup of coffee over there. Maybe have a little bite to eat, read a book. It's a really nice spot. I like that quite a bit.
We actually liked the robot show better than the production show when we were on Anthem. The robot show was incredible. It was incredible.
Yes.
Nuts. Tim said, can't wait, Baltic cruise in 29 days. That is awesome. Ash said, how is Royal Caribbean included dining compared to their specialty dining? I find cruise lines like Princess have less of a difference than, say, lines like Carnival, where the included dining is blah.
It's a good question, Ash. Royal Caribbean definitely has a lot of specialty restaurants on their ships. And also this, depending on which ship you're going on, like you're going on Vision of the Seas, well, there's Chops Grill and that's it. Actually, no, I lied. There's a Zumi on there. I'm thinking of Enchantment of the Seas. So there is a little more there. So it depends on the ship, number one. Number two, I think Royal Caribbean's included food is pretty good. I think most of their food exists somewhere between good and really good. Some stuff is like probably falls in the middle there. There's a couple things that I've had and like, okay, I will not be ordering that again. But I think they still pay a lot of attention to their included food. I talk a lot of times with Royal Caribbean's food and beverage team. And some people like to think that Royal Caribbean's like an evil genius, like, we're going to get rid of all the included food soon. They really recognize that, number one, there is a role for included food. Number two, they want it to be good. They want you to have a good cruise. And if you come away thinking the food was terrible in the included food, that doesn't do anybody any benefits. So they really do spend a lot of time and energy trying to upgrade it, make it better. I'm not saying that it's gourmet or that it's like 5-star or you're going to be blown away by it. But I eat in the main dining room a lot. I go to the Windjammer a lot. I go to Local Fresh a lot, these places. I have rarely been disappointed with the food over there. They always do a good job with it. I think it's certainly satisfactory, and you won't be hungry on board the ship.
Agreed. And I will say, when we did the ship tour on Friday, we had lunch in the Solarium Bistro, and in the Solarium Bistro on embarkation day, this was not for us. We just went in there and ate lunch with the passengers on the ship. They had lobster tails in the Solarium Bistro on embarkation day. So that is included food. You don't pay anything extra for. They had mussels, shrimp
and
cocktail.
the lime tuna thing from
Yeah, the little
Wonderland.
citrus lime tuna. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that while everyone has their own opinions, food is so subjective, right? I mean, that's like the number one thing you have to always remember. But I really think that the included food game is pretty good on Royal Caribbean. And there's sometimes we do a cruise, like we're just getting the main dining room on the sailings. I think it's good. And I love the service. That's also something to be said about eating in places like the main dining room or even the Windjammer. They really do care. So that's something that I think really stands out.
That's awesome. Ryan said, predictions on future Royal ships in New Jersey. Living in New York has me flying anywhere less and less. Nothing better than a taxi to and from home.
Oh, sure. I think what you've seen right now is pretty much what you can expect. A big ship sailing out of there, whether it's an Oasis class or Quantum class, depending on the seasonality of it. And then a couple of different ships that kind of like, hop in and out, right? Like right now it's Liberty of the Seas, and you're gonna have Odyssey of the Seas, and you're gonna have this mix in there. But I think New York or New Jersey is certainly a big enough port market that they're always gonna have a big ship in there, and they're gonna have 2 or 3 operating at any given time. I don't think beyond that, and certainly, if you're asking, will there be an Icon class ship there? Certainly in the future, anything's possible. But at the current juncture, I think that pattern that you're seeing will continue.
Yeah, I've been looking too. I've been paying attention, waiting for the 26, because Symphony's been here for 2 years, so it's probably going to change up. So I was hoping we were going to get Wonder. We did ask. We had Royal Caribbean on, and Icon cannot come to Jersey. It doesn't fit under the Verrazano. So we got the official. We're not getting an Icon, but I would love to see Wonder and something else like that. It'd be really great. But we've had great ships the past couple of years. We had Adventure, we had Anthem, we've had Oasis.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago. You all had Explorer of the Seas, and that was it. I remember those days because I lived up there. So
yeah.
It's things are. I would say things have improved considerably, and there's reason to believe that I think they'll continue that trend because I think they see that as a good growth opportunity for them.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's great. Tony said, I've taken some great naps in 270. That's awesome. Ryan said, this is great and informative. Thank you, everyone. Dom said, 270 venue is awesome. I was in on Anthem 2 years ago on Super Bowl Sunday. We watched it in 270. That is awesome.
Nice.
Ryan said, noticed on day one and later restaurant staff walks around selling reservations. I've found you can negotiate the price on smaller ships. Is there a policy for this fleet-wide?
It's not a policy, but you can certainly negotiate. I would say when you see people walking around trying to drum up reservations, yeah, you can ask. You can say, is there any specials or anything? Sometimes they'll offer you a special if you're willing to go that night, as opposed to like later on in the cruise. Sometimes they offer a free bottle of something, champagne or what have you, and they might offer you anything at all. Just kind of depends on, I guess, how quote unquote desperate they are with it. So, but it never hurts to ask, because the worst they're going to tell you is no. So I say go for it.
Yep, agreed. Duke asked, do you get double points on Royal for sailing solo?
You get double points for sailing solo in a standard cabin. You get 3 points per night for sailing solo in a suite.
There you go. And then we'll do one more question here. Cheryl said, on specialty dining, if you don't like your main course, can you get a different one without it costing more?
Absolutely, yes. No problem. John, you hit it on the nail on the head earlier when you were talking about, if they even think you don't like what you're eating, they will be more than happy to bring you out 7 other dishes to replace that one until you are happy with it. So yeah, absolutely 100%.
Yep, agreed. And Cheryl, yes, Royal does give discounts to military and first responders. They absolutely do. All right, right now we are going to give out the coffee. So Matt, we do 2 giveaways every week. We give out a coffee from Mainly Coffee. So we're going to do that right now. AJ, you ready with that? There we go. Let's see who's going to win our coffee for the week. We'll also send Matt some coffee. Send Matt some coffee this week.
Oh, Felicia got robbed. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I know, right? All right, Edward Clayton, congratulations on the coffee. Next up, we're going to give out a book. The book of the week is called The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. She's a local Philadelphia author. I just started this book. It's like a thriller. So we're going to be giving out that this week. So let's do that.
Not Tony.
Tony's won a lot.
Felicia,
come on.
I don't think we've had it hit that close both times before.
2
that was
times
weird.
That's rigged. All right. Thank you guys very much. Matt, thank you so much. I really, really, really appreciate you coming on tonight. Very
Of
much
course.
appreciate it. Matt will be on our next podcast where we talk about all things Drupal and web development.
For all three of you that'll find that interesting.
Yep. All right. Thank you all so much. Thanks, everyone. Hope everyone has a great week. We'll have videos the rest of the week on the Joy. We'll talk about Allure of the Seas tomorrow a little bit. And then Sunday, we'll be live 11 a.m. for Cruise News. Thanks, everyone, and have a wonderful night. Bye. Thanks again, Matt. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Good night.